Shall we try this again? Well, that was frustrating. It was only actually it's take 3 or 4 because I tried this earlier because it wasn't working for me earlier. Does anybody want to come up here? I'm going to put the link in the chat. Anybody that wants to come up is welcome to come up and talk to me. And see, I need someone to come up because I want to see if it's still echoing. Because I didn't hear the echo on my end, but apparently everybody else did. So, hey Miller, how you doing? Hey Miller, did you tell what's her name that I? Oh, never mind. I'll talk to you later. Please tell me there's no echo.
Uh, there's still an echo.
Is there no? Come on, Brian.
There is.
Are you sure it's on my end?
Well, let me jump down and let somebody else get back up and see if they hear it.
Okay. Does anybody else hear it?
Let me
Okay,
jump down.
Mr. Positive, you need to enable your camera, even if it doesn't work. Because Mr. Positive, I know it's him, but even if it doesn't work.
I know it's me.
Hi. Do you
It's
hear
me.
an echo?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You are echoing. You know what? Do you have earbuds?
No, and it doesn't. I've never had to use earbuds
Okay,
before.
I know what the problem is,
Sometimes this
Carla.
happens.
What is it?
You said earlier, you said first thing this morning that you were trying or struggling to get on.
Yes.
My guess is you're on a device that you haven't fully shut down, whether it's your cell phone or the computer upstairs.
Absolutely.
That is what's going wrong.
Okay, you're right. Talk while I'm fixing this.
And my camera doesn't work because I'm on a laptop where the camera doesn't work.
Okay, I shut down the other device. Is it working yet? Is it still echoing?
I don't think so.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little, not much.
Like it was before? Hang on. Okay. How about now?
No.
It's not
Testing,
echoing?
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Still echoing.
Joy! Joy's here. Joy! Joy sent me. I haven't showed any. Oh wait, I have to fix this. Joy.
Well, I thought
Joy
my
sent me
idea
this.
would work, Carla, but it's not. I thought it had to do with your devices.
It's not
Did you
working.
shut it down?
Yes,
It started.
I thought
It's
she did.
completely
Yeah.
shut
Or she
down.
said she did.
Why is it echoing still?
Yeah.
Yes.
Big thing.
Oh. Are you sure it's not one of you guys?
No.
Guarantee it's not us.
Well,
My earbuds are in.
what do I have to do?
You might have.
Are you completely shut down on all devices that you might have tried?
I did. Yeah, that's what I did before I came back.
You shut down the computer.
And
Yes,
your
I
cell phone.
shut down my computer completely,
And you restarted it.
and I restarted it. Yes.
Is your phone?
And your cell phone also?
No, I didn't shut down my cell phone.
Restart your cell phone.
Okay, wait. Okay, I'm not. You guys could talk. I'll just go to.
Hi, Ginger. Lock.
Hi. Yeah, what?
I'm just stuck in bed all day.
This is crazy and bizarre.
Trying to heal. Part of being a disabled individual, you get pressure sores. If you don't take care of them, apparently I did.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Not me.
I know it's me, but I just can't figure out how to fix it. You guys need to help me.
You hear that noise in the background?
I hear no noise.
We all hear.
What kind of noise?
It's a leaf blower.
It sounds like
It's not here.
No, it's
Nobody's
here.
you hear a leaf blower.
Is it still echoing?
Yes.
Bad.
All right, I'm gonna jump down and let you smart people help her.
Who said I'm smart?
And we
Why
can't
has
figure
it
it
never
out.
done this before? It's
No.
never done this before.
But see, when you came on, you said you had two of you, and you couldn't get rid of it, which means there is somewhere there is another browser open.
Yeah.
There is, but I can't get rid of it. How do I
If
get
you-
rid of it?
I have the same issue too. I can't remember what I did. I don't know.
Okay, how about now?
No,
It's still echoing.
slightly.
Slightly or a lot?
Yo, Brian.
Because I
Ah,
got, there's only one thing open.
Now?
I don't hear it anymore.
I still hear it.
I shut down everything.
Just a little bit. Not very much.
Yeah, but not as bad.
Okay. Well, I'll fix it later if it's not just as bad. Hi, everybody. Joy, did you see what I just showed? Did you guys see what I just showed?
What did you show?
What was it?
This Joy sent me this.
What is it?
Sage.
Okay, you
Uh-oh.
need that.
Sage. I have to learn how to use it, but yeah, she sent me that. Isn't she sweet? Hi, Lou. How
Put
you
it in a
doing?
lockbox.
Huh?
Put your safe in a lockbox so your ghosts don't run. The ghosts don't run off with it again.
I didn't understand a word you said, Brian.
I said put your sage in a lockbox so your ghosts
Yes,
don't
I
run
know.
away.
I've been keeping it with me everywhere I go.
You gotta burn it.
Yeah, I know, but I have to learn how to do it right. It says it's got instructions on the back on how to use it. So,
You figure the ghost can take a vacation for a holiday.
I hope so. Hi, Vivian. Hello, my friend from down under. I wish I could do a Australian accent.
It is, Vivian.
Hello, Vivian. The dingo ate my baby. The dingo ate my baby.
Ginger dog above that echo.
The funny thing is because I know Miss Murder from Australia. She came to visit me.
Do you know how to do an Australian accent? That is the hardest accent.
It's really not when you hang around with them.
Just
It
go listen
becomes
to
very
Vinny
easy.
G. Go listen to Vinny G for about 10 minutes. You'll learn.
You'll pick it up real quick.
Oh, you pick up all the swear words for Vinny G.
Yeah, cunt. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He can get kind of.
No.
I never say that word.
Yeah, that sounds funny. That sounds weird coming from you.
I know.
So, what were you guys talking about when I was like trying to fix my device? I heard Brian Laundrie's name.
Oh, this is the chat.
You still think he's alive? Come on.
No.
He's been dead way before they found him.
I'm not going to say that I pretend I know. Because I don't know.
I think he's dead. That's my opinion.
He's
Dead.
I figured it right in the first place within like 3 days of him coming back. So after they went to the camping and they came back, that's where it was.
The echo is killing people.
Is it echoing still?
Yeah.
You got
I talk
headphones
and then I
on?
hear myself.
What's that?
You got headphones with a mic?
Somewhere.
Either a microphone or a headphone should stop it. For
Hang on.
sure.
Let me mute.
There we
I feel
go.
like I'm at an auction or something.
Hi, Brian. Now it's not echoing.
Now it's not echoing. Nope.
Nope. Sounds good now.
It's Carla.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling today?
Not too hot. Not too hot at all.
But you're at home.
I am at home. I'm not going. I'll go kicking and screaming. They're gonna have to seriously hold me down because I will never go on my own.
When was the last time you got out of the house?
I was out over the weekend. Over the weekend, we had a friend's party, but even then, I couldn't eat. And everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like people, you could tell, like, 'cause I've lost so much weight. People look at me who've known me for years, are like, "Whoa!" Like, what's going? Like, it was kind of weird to see, and it was like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm okay. I can't eat.
That's gotta suck.
It does. It does. And right now, I'm having a vicious time with it, and they're setting me up for another surgery to put me and open my pylorus muscle.
Okay, am I still echoing?
No,
Not at all?
not at all.
How about you, Brian? Do you hear an echo?
No echo.
You guys in the chat, do you hear an echo?
No, they
Brian, why
couldn't.
did you hide Miller?
I
Did
didn't
he
mean
say
to.
something?
No, I didn't mean to.
That was an accident, Miller.
I just fixed it too.
It was snip of the
okay.
thumb.
No, I think that Brian Laundrie guy, as soon as he, speaking on it, as soon as he
Thank you,
realized,
Joy.
as soon as he realized what he did to her, he was afraid to go to prison, and two, he can live with himself for what he did to Gabby. And I think he came home, told his family, and they went on that they went to a little camping thing, and then I think he left. Right after he left, after that, he killed himself.
Yeah, I don't know what to believe, honest to God, because you cannot say that this doesn't look suspicious, because it does. But with that being said, when you find a tooth and the things like that, and yeah, if he was on the bottom of that swamp, they would have never found him because he was underwater. 4 feet of water, they were saying. But it's weird that they found his backpack. Like, they went out there with one person, and it was just weird. Just strange how they found him. Let's be
and
honest.
now the media is not really talking about it.
No, because what else is there to say at this point?
Miller, Ash is my friend. Please be respectful. That's all
Republican
I ask.
Ash?
Republican Ash.
Hi, Republican Ash. No, yeah, I was just telling Brian I'm not really keeping any food down at all.
And nothing. You can't have any like juices.
I don't know how she doesn't starve to death, to be honest with you.
Well, she's got to force herself to
anything.
eat. She's got to eat anyway, even if she's
she can't. Well, she's not eating though.
The problem is right now is what I'm eating, I'm puking back up.
Even if she pukes it back up, she still gets some kind of a little bit of nutrient from it, so she has to keep eating and throwing up just to stay alive. Right? Pretty much.
Some days, yes.
So you got to force yourself to eat.
Miller has
it's so hard.
Miller has an interesting theory.
What?
The guy who killed Gabby followed Brian and killed him, and he's serious. I don't believe that.
Nah. Not after what happened in
I think
Utah.
he did it.
Then why didn't that guy, if it was the guy that killed Gabby, followed Brian, why didn't he go in their house and kill all of them when he was back home? When he came back home for those days, why wouldn't he go into their house and just kill all of them?
I don't know.
I'm just talking about that theory that Star Wars agent has.
I mean, it's a theory. My theory was, when those two girls were murdered too, I thought maybe Brian Laundrie had killed them too.
Nah,
I wasn't
didn't even
sure.
think they were
well,
even connected.
I did.
Nope.
He just doesn't look like a deranged serial type of killer person.
Can they at least put on some banana bags or something, Ginger, just to help a little? What's a banana bag?
Mm-hmm.
You never can tell what Hills is talking about sometimes.
No, M said, can they at least put on some banana bags?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
You think Gabby had a other gentleman stalker?
He was in love with Gabby and Brian. He was jealous. What?
I've never heard the.
He was in love with Brian. He was in love with Gabby and Brian. He was jealous, and he was jealous of Brian. That's what his theory.
Well, the theory would be that Gabby had this secret stalker type of guy that was following her around and was jealous, so he couldn't have her, so he killed her. and then probably killed Brian too.
Someone killed Brian. I think he killed himself, to be honest with you. I think Brian killed himself because he's a coward.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, I've kind of been looking into this whole Astroworld thing, and we were talking about this yesterday, and I was so shocked when I read that he went to Dave and Buster's afterwards.
After 8 people were killed?
Apparently, what he's saying, he didn't know.
He didn't know 8 people were killed at that concert.
No, apparently
bullshit.
they knew nothing.
I'm calling bullshit on that one.
I do
What
too.
concert are you talking about?
The
Astroworld with Travis Scott.
Yeah, where 8 people were killed.
What? Now this was when? When did this happen?
Friday night.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something about that. But I didn't
Yeah.
look into
Oh
it.
yeah, Travis Scott is in a huge amount
We
of trouble.
showed a bunch of videos and stuff.
TikToks.
They're carrying people out,
The pits that people fell
Dead.
into that nobody cared to even pick up people who fell. You have this poor little child that's 9 years old that was trampled to death almost, and he is on life support in the ICU.
How did this basically happen? How did these things?
All right, well, Travis Scott has a reputation of what they call raging, okay?
Mhm.
So with that, what they do is he encourages people to break in to his shows. They knocked down the gates. They completely charged the safety gates,
Mhm.
and people just ran in. So they're like a sold-out crowd of 50,000. Well, guess what? You know how many people broke in that didn't have a ticket? So it was probably a sold-out show of like 70,000, if not more. So,
Mhm.
that was one of the reasons drugs were extremely rampant. Nobody was stopping the drugs at all.
oh God, Ash. She got stuck on a roller coaster at Astroworld years ago.
I've been there. I've
was
been
stuck
there.
for over an hour. Oh my God.
It was
I
right
would-
across the street from the
I would
Astrodome.
die. I would die. I mean, I'm okay to go on a roller coaster, when it goes up and down and it's over in like a second. But if I'm stuck, I get more scared on a Ferris wheel than I do on a roller coaster.
No.
because
So
the
you're
ride's
afraid of
over.
heights?
So these,
Deathly afraid of heights.
I'm not.
so this happened at Astro World, the concert there.
Yeah, so
Yes.
this is Travis Scott's like baby. Like he made this. And there was, and a lot of people say, and as I said on my channel yesterday, look at all the people from before that used that they were like this gothic, total dark, Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. And people have used those dark undertones. And in this concert, those dark undertones were definitely used.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was the way he feels or whether it was intentional to, I don't know, be like Madonna with the flaming crosses in the back because that grabs attention. So I'm thinking maybe he thought this might grab attention, but it just, there's nothing that looks good about this for him at all.
Lissa says, hey, Carla and Chad, did you see the clip from another concert he did where he jumped into the crowd and then accused a young lad of stealing his shoe?
A guy tried to steal a shoe, and that was
got
true.
the
That was in
fans to
Switzerland. That was in Switzerland.
And he got the fans to beat him up?
He said, yeah, get him. Get him.
Oh,
Beat him up.
Jesus.
And then he spit on him.
Sounds like a thug.
You think? Just
Would think.
just once again, like a younger generation. And he's not that young. He's 30 for crying out loud.
So these people
Well,
barge
that's
in.
pretty young compared
These
to
people
us.
barge in there, and what they do? Trampled 8 people. Is that what happened?
8 people. No, actually, more people
They-
died of cardiac arrest.
They were squished, or they were like,
They have that crowd surge that pushes through.
that
Yeah,
pushes
and
you
when you
forward.
allow, and everybody wants to be close to the stage, whether you paid for a ticket or not,
Yeah, you're right.
and that's what it's and that's they idolize these people. Like, yeah, I love Dave Matthews, but I don't idolize him by no means. I mean,
They had the same kind of thing happen in Cincinnati at Riverfront Stadium in '79 when the Who had a concert, and it was late, and they were late opening the doors, and when they opened the doors, the people tried to they just trampled right into the entranceway, and they killed 11 people that way. That was in Cincinnati back
Do
in
you
'79.
guys do you guys remember the stampede that was up in New England? I think it was Boston with Great White.
No.
Was it a
They used
stampede or was it when
it
Great
was the
White caused the fire?
right, which turned into a stampede.
Is it the same thing? The same day? Yeah, the pyrotechnics guy.
Oh, they screwed that up big time. Oh yeah,
But
they were
there's
never
always
able to
there. I
recover.
mean,
Was
you had
anyone killed?
there.
Was anyone killed?
Many people were killed.
Not to mention the guy in Columbus, Ohio, when Pantera was performing. The guy that just came in there and just jumped on the stage and killed Dimebag Darrell, the lead guitarist from that band.
Jesus.
Jeez.
And then the cops killed him. And Nickelback wrote a song about it. It's called "Side of a Bullet." It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I think my husband played that.
Yeah,
No
Side of a
offense,
Bullet
I
is-
am
yeah,
just
that's
not
for,
a
that's for
Nickelback
Dimebag
fan.
Darrell and Pantera. Pantera would have been a little more awesome.
Unfortunately, Nickelback lives up to the reputation that they are because he, the lead singer, is the biggest freaking jerk in the world. Just saying. I met him. He's an
You met
ass.
Chad Kroger.
Yeah, he's not a nice person.
Well, he's probably just really arrogant because they did
Yes.
so well back then. But me and Nicole have seen them like 3 times, and they always put on a good show.
I met him back in the 90s, like when they first started.
Mm-hmm.
So, and back
He-
then he thought his shit didn't stink.
Well, he probably does. You know, they did that one video, the photograph video. They actually went back to his hometown in Canada, and that was his real high school.
There was a me like, look at this photograph.
That was really everything that he was showing was like his old house, his old school he went to. So he probably is a little bit arrogant that he came from that to what he is now. Then he married Avril Lavigne, I think.
But they divorced.
Yeah, they divorced immediately, and I was like, man, they make a cool couple. But he does, even in his interviews, he seems pretty arrogant.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess you have that right. You know?
I disagree. You don't have the right. You just think your head swells.
Well, you can be arrogant, but you don't have to be mean about it.
But he was a mean, arrogant person.
Was he being mean? Yeah.
He wasn't a nice person at all.
It's like Axl Rose is an asshole.
I
You know?
don't doubt that.
And let me see another one that the ones that are really good about their fans are like the Foo Fighters,
Love the Foo Fighters.
Bon Jovi,
Love Bon Jovi. Seen them many times.
really good towards his fans and towards the community. And there's a lot more. Sting was too. Bon Jovi has this restaurant in New Jersey, I think.
Yep. It's in Brookview. It's red.
Right, and it's actually set up for people that can't eat.
Mhm.
So you go in and get something to eat. You can pick off a selected menu, and that they already have set up, and you can get something to eat, and you pay what you can.
Yep.
And he's been doing that for years, and some people
Yeah,
don't pay.
I believe it's in Brick or it's in Redbridge, one or the other.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to play something.
Okay.
Just a second. I can find it.
uh-oh.
You're in
No,
trouble
it's
now.
nothing bad.
You never know with
Jesus.
you, Carl. You're full of surprises.
I am not.
Silly. Some of the ways she says
I
stuff.
am not. I'm so
I
predictable.
am
I'm so
not.
predictable. It's not even funny.
You got your bangs touching your eyebrows. They're getting down there.
I'm growing them out because I'm sick of people making fun of them.
You gonna feather
Oh
your hair
my
back?
God! You do not listen to what other people say, please.
Okay, here we go. You guys ready? This is the station fire footage.
Oh, that's
Share
the name of the
screen.
place, the station.
That's from White.
Great White.
Great White.
I don't know. I've never seen this. This
The
is
station,
This is
yeah,
first
where they
time.
rough.
jumped off the stage because the stage caught fire.
So
They
rough
killed
to
a few
watch.
people, I think.
I would say I think it was in the 40s
Can you
or
hear
50s.
Can you hear the audio? I don't think I played the audio.
No. Yep.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah. No. We have it. You can hear it. You can hear it.
You can hear it?
Yep.
Okay.
They lost the band member too.
I think they did.
That's not good. Yeah, they were pretty good. They were a pretty good band.
Trigger warning.
This thing was bitten twice shy when that came out. Yeah, give it shows when you're talking about the Rolling Stones and they hired the Hells Angels.
Why did so many people die? Was there a door locked or something?
No, there was only one entrance in, and everybody went out it, and they trampled on each other. And they piled up like sardines.
There was a lot of smoking and noise.
I've never seen this before. This is the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, the foam roof was dripping like people. Like,
A minute and 10 seconds in. They're all on top of each other.
people panicking and they're jammed in that door. 2 minutes.
Yep, didn't take long.
That black smoke is what got a lot of people. The guy walking by had black shit all over his face.
When was this? Does anybody know?
I would say 2003.
Do you know how many people passed away? There's a documentary on TikTok. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, look at all the
Get this bus out of here so we get the fire department in here. Get this bus out of here. Anybody inside?
That's how short a time it took it to just burn down. 5 minutes.
Jesus Christ. Those guys are on fire. I know.
It says it killed everyone.
Watch out for this hole! Take off this hole and go! Timmy, just come here! All right, hit it!
Can't imagine how horrible that's been.
That's so hard to watch.
It's crazy.
How many people perished in that?
I don't know. I thought it was like 40 or so.
Yeah.
One of the band members, one of the roadies, the guy that set up the pyrotechnics.
Oy.
But then,
Yeah.
then you had that one in Boston in the 40s, 1942, the Coconut Grove, which is the same thing, but 490 people got killed.
Wow.
There's a movie about that one. Carlos, well, it's just me and you, Genderlock.
I know. What the freak?
Carla's just so rude. What a guest. what a host, I mean.
Yeah. She
Screwed over
takes-
to 89. Let's look.
Yeah, I'm on my phone, so I can't look.
100 people died? OMG.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot.
You got to remember the Coconut Grove. There was 490 people.
That's awful.
It's completely awful.
And avoidable. There's no reason that should happen.
You can see from the stage when they started singing and that pyrotechnics went off behind them that it was way too high and way too close to the stage.
And
It was way-
everybody and everything.
I mean, it was just
Right.
shooting it out.
That place was not built for pyrotechnics.
Right.
Most were killed in the doorway. M says, "Yeah,
Shame
you
on
can
the
see
people for allowing them to have pyrotechnics.
everybody's smashed into each other and choking to death in that
I
doorway."
can't imagine a worse way to die. I really
Me either.
can't. Being burnt to death or asphyxiate. God, I can't say it. Asphyxiation. You know what I mean? Like, ugh,
100, M said.
I know.
Wow.
In a matter of minutes, because you saw that, like,
Yep.
it's counting down, like 2
And
minutes, 3 minutes.
Great White was on their way to a really excellent rock and roll career because they had some pretty good songs and people liked them.
Well, did Ginger? Did you say that their guitar player was killed too? In that?
Yeah,
Brian
Wow.
did.
Good Lord.
And then you got like this whole Astro World, which definitely could have been avoided.
Oh, definitely. That was hard to watch too.
Oh, yeah.
It's
There's a
very
lot
hard
that's
to
hard to
watch.
watch these days.
I want to look that up.
Crazy.
I should have known about that actually because I usually stay in the loop when things like that happen.
Yeah, you know.
I was
about this stuff.
I was all over the Vegas shooting with that Stephen Pollock guy. I was all over that one.
Oh, yeah.
Was that
and
the
you
guy
know-
that
you-
killed 60 some odd people?
You notice how that went away? It just kind of went away. Everybody started to figure it out, and that whole Pollock thing just kind of disappeared, kind of went away.
Yep.
Yeah, nobody talks about that anymore.
They don't want nobody to talk about it. That's why.
Why?
Because it's just too much fishiness around that. I don't believe he was the only shooter.
I don't either.
I think those helicopters that were in the air had a lot to do with it. And then you had other hotels like the Bali also called and said that there was a shooter down the street in their hotel. But I think it was like a government gun deal gone bad
Possible.
because he had all those weapons in there. They kept showing video of him bringing those weapons, and then the security guard, I forget his name, Jose something or other, but he was a witness to the whole thing. He came on the Ellen show, and she was telling him, "We're going to do this interview, and you don't ever have to do this again, ever." He gave the interview, and he said what he saw, and he left. And he kind of made it look like Pollock.
Oh, is that the one you said they never saw him again?
Never saw him again. And the thing of it is the hotel he was in, I think it's called Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
It was owned by MGM, right? And MGM owns Ellen. So Ellen has this guy come on the show and give a completely different story than what, I mean, I'd have to go back to be specific. But
I don't watch Ellen.
She's telling him, you can talk about this now and you never have to talk about this again. And then he gave his side of the story and he disappeared completely. Not even in the country. Gone. Never heard from him again.
That's crazy.
And she worked for MGM, which owned that hotel. And then they had all this video surveillance of Pollock continuously bringing suitcase after suitcase up to that room.
Yep.
Pam says, don't get me started on that one. The whole Vegas shooting was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
And the way they found him dead, it just, no.
And the funny thing, so I heard someone say, and I don't know who it was, and I don't know what channel I ever heard it on, but I know I heard it. But that, you know, there were a lot of people like, who cares? We're all a bunch of Republicans anyway who listen to country music.
Oh my gosh, is
And
that
made it
right,
political.
True Helter? He says, does anyone else find it coincidental that the Astroworld even happened on the 666 day anniversary, 666 day anniversary of when the Church of Satan started?
I don't think that's a coincidence. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be respectful for the people who have perished in this whole thing and who are now on life support. That's what I care about the most. But like I said, he could have made it this way. But yeah, he could be a part of the Church of Satan. You just don't know these days.
I never knew that. Well, he doesn't seem like a born again Christian to me, you know.
Yeah, he's not a good person. He spits on people.
And it was Kris Jenner's 66th birthday.
No, it wasn't.
She's not that old.
No, but what I'm asking is, with all the sixes that was like surrounding this event, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, and
Creative Renewal says Astro from UB40 also died the same day.
Hi, Creative Renewal.
UB40 sings Red, Red Wine.
Red
Wine.
wine.
Isn't it funny how that song was out for 4 years before it hit the number one? It was getting radio airplay for 4 years before it hit number one.
I didn't know that.
Song. I didn't know that either.
And I was like, wow, man, why are people slow or what? It's a great song.
It is a great song.
They have a couple more that's pretty good. Yeah.
I always liked Jamiroquai.
Em said she absolutely is that old.
Yep.
Is she? I didn't know that. I had no idea. Well, how old is Bruce Jenner? He must be up there too.
That would be Caitlyn.
Bruce Jenner
Oh,
died
Caitlyn
about
Jenner.
8 years ago.
Oh, that's right.
I think she's
Caitlyn Jenner now.
I think she's
Yes.
60.
I'm sorry. I just keep forgetting. You know, it's hard.
I think that Caitlyn Jenner is about 68. And
Okay.
I don't see anything but Bruce when I look at her. It don't matter to me.
I mean, that's why. Don't come for me because I just know.
I just grew up
person
watching
is Bruce
those
Jenner.
triathlons.
Wheaties,
Yeah.
for Christ's sake. Wheaties.
Yeah, I
Yes,
grew up
like,
watching him.
Yeah, watch him.
He
at
was like the
Olympics.
ultimate athlete. He come from 72.
She's 72.
Ems, you're just a wealth of knowledge today.
Oh yeah, Ems. We should do a
Damn.
do a trivia thing. We should do a trivia thing. Remember when YouTube used to be fun?
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
It is, but the shit can start at any second.
I just
Well,
try to stay. I try to stay far away from that stuff. That's all. I
the
don't
Church
watch
of
it. I don't
Satan
listen to
is
it.
fake ass theory. I don't know.
No, there
I
really
know,
is a
I'm
church
not
of
No,
Satan.
because guess what? Marilyn Manson is a high priest of the Church of Satan. So that is a real thing. Thank you. It's
Yeah.
definitely a real thing.
That's like the Wiccan. Isn't a
That's
Wiccan
well known that
a
Marilyn
religion?
Manson.
Wiccan isn't
Wicca
that a
is
religion?
Wicca.
Jodi
Wicca,
Arias was into that.
yeah, Wicca is a religion, and it goes way, way back. It's been
And
around
it's
for a
not
long
about
time.
being a witch. It's a religion. It's an actual
It's
religion.
not really about being a witch or being evil towards anyone. Actually, Wicca is based on harming no one. If you're a true pagan or true Wiccan, you don't want to harm anyone. But you have people that associate Wicca and Wicca with that black magic witch stuff. Even though that you could be called a witch in Wicca, but you don't wish bad harm on anyone.
No.
Their motto is "And harm ye none, do as ye will."
Well,
I heard that from a friend, by the way.
karma
It's still
will
not
get
the
you.
proper religion to follow. You know.
Karma will get you.
Karma
I believe
is,
in. Don't you believe in karma?
Karma is a dirty bitch.
But seriously, like, I'm sorry I missed it because Eritrea was live yesterday, and she's
I
got
like
one of the
Eritrea.
best chats on YouTube.
I
You
agree.
guys are not sub to her. Go sub over to her.
She has
She
the
really
most,
does. She's so calming.
she's got the most relaxing voice.
She does. And I started listening to her last night, and I've been having trouble sleeping, and I felt completely. It's not saying that she's boring, but she's
No.
got a really nice, soothing voice.
Oh my
And
God!
her
If you
chat is
if
just-
you want to go to sleep, listen to that Umbrella guy. His voice is so
yeah,
soothing.
I do that, and Let's Read. There's another one I've listened
I've never heard anybody be mean to Eritrea ever until
No,
yesterday.
I think she
when-
goes wherever she wants.
Well, Diane told her to go sit down, go have a seat, and I was laughing. I was like, "Now who could be mad at Eritrea?
How could you be mad at her?
Who gets
seriously?
mad at Eritrea?"
When did she get mad at her?
Diane did this live the other day where she was mad at Eritrea.
Oh,
Kick her in the
Told her to go
throat.
have a seat.
sakes. Who cares what Diane says?
And I was
or
teasing
thinks?
her. I was teasing her about it a little bit last night. I guess she heard it, but I've never heard anybody ever say anything bad about her.
I've never, no,
Never.
because what's there to bad to say about her? She's just nice.
Diane told her to go have a seat. I'm like, really, Diane? Come on, man. You picked the nicest person in the community, or one of them anyway. There's a lot of nice people. To tell them to go have a seat. That made me
Well,
mad.
I won't
was
even
mad.
go-
was
I
like,
Because
won't
t-
go. I
if
won't
you
go
call
on that chat.
Diane out, she doesn't like it.
No.
Oh, she don't like that.
No,
Yeah, I'm sure she laughed it off
with
too,
her
guys.
nose way high up in the air as it scrapes the sky.
Oh
Do
my
not
gosh.
make fun of me. Do not talk about me. I'm Diane.
I'm better than everybody.
I am Diane.
Who cares?
Adore me. I am Diane.
Diana Cruella Deville.
I don't know. There you go.
Cruella Deville.
Oh, I even said I
know.
wouldn't partake even in Diane crap. Like I'm like, but I'm not even
No.
being that nasty.
That's
I'm
the
being
thing is,
funny.
like, everybody's left her alone for months and months and months and months and months.
I haven't.
So,
I don't bother her. I told her what I
I
felt.
don't want anything to do with her.
I
so.
told her how I felt. I'm sure she heard what I felt. I'm sure she doesn't like me because I felt that way, and that's okay. I
I'm
don't
just
like
wondering
her
how long
either.
it's gonna be before Wendy gets back on her panel. You know she's itching to.
Miley says,
I'm holding out on that one. I'm holding.
Miley says, thank you for being accurate info about Wicca. You're the first I've ever heard to describe it accurately as to harm none.
Well,
Lesson
Miley,
B.
I followed Wicca for a long time, and I was vocal on it before when I was on here with it.
I don't know much about it except what I heard about when Jodi Arias joined it to be with her boyfriend, but I knew it was a religion. Some
Well,
kind of
now that
religion.
Jodi Arias joined Mormonism, she joined the Mormonism. Here's the thing
After
about
that, yeah.
And not
Yeah,
only
yeah,
that,
yeah,
like,
after-
that's
okay,
like
now I
the
know what you're
strictest
talking about.
religion ever.
You're right. The thing about real true Wicca is people that are into Wicca, they don't try to push it off onto somebody else. They don't hardly ever bring it up
Right.
unless somebody says they start talking about it, and they'll say it because Wiccans don't want to impose their own will on someone else. They want you to find it your own way. So it's like in Christianity in the church, you might say, "Hey, come to my church," blah blah blah. You kind of push it on other people. Well, Wiccans don't talk about it. The true ones don't talk about it that much, very rarely. But the good paganism, it's just a different way. It's not like, I would encourage people to follow something else, but the real Wiccans are just earthly people who just want to have unity and atonement with everybody.
Can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
What made you change and decide to go to Christianity from being a pagan?
Because with Wicca, you are worshiping the earth, the weather, the coven, and the Bible specifically says you can't have two masters. You'll hate one and love the other. So I had to remove myself from the Church of the Conversionalists, and then because you can't do that. You can't serve one. You'll love one and hate the other. So that's where that came from.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There was really like I can't leave a Apostolic Church of Christ and then go over to a Church of Wicca, because it causes in your spirit has to focus on one. According to Christianity, you have to focus all. If you're serving another, which the earth is really not the God that I thought it was. But it was created by the God that I now follow.
Correct.
That makes any sense?
That does make sense.
So you can't. I just. But even then, it was never like a bad evil thing like people try to make it. It sounds.
I had a friend.
Sounds evil, but it's not.
A friend of mine, and this was in like college. He's my friend who passed away. He was an atheist for the longest time. I'm like, what do you mean you're an atheist? I'm like, how can you not believe that there's a God? Like, it didn't make sense to me. But then I met a lot of atheists after that. And it's not that they're not good people. It's just that these are people who are not really necessarily sure or don't feel a religious pull that is pulling them.
Yeah. Star Wars. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm done.
Star Wars agent says, "I'm a Christian, seen and spoke to God. Church of Satan and Wiccans are pure evil. I'm out." By Carla and friends. Well, if you're a Christian, you have to remember to not judge others, lest you will be judged. And you're talking to somebody that came out of that. So if you want to not listen to that testimony and run off, then you're judging. That's what you're doing. You're judging. I came out of that. Somebody asked me, and I came out of that. So there's lots.
Me too.
We have this church here in Dayton. It's called the. Let me get it right. No, the Rock and Roll Church of Christ.
I kind of agree with him in there a little bit, because I feel a little bit the way she feels, because I was brought up. My parents were devout Catholics. I went through Catholic school. I went through Catholic high school, and then once I got out of Catholic school, I went to college.
Hey, Lorelei.
But the fact of the matter is, for me, like, I saw a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Which to me, like, kind of turned me off, I guess, the Catholic religion per se. Now, I'm still a Christian, 1,000%, still a Christian. Just not really into the Catholicism anymore. I'm just not. It's a little bit too much down your throat. And they don't convert.
Yeah,
they don't.
Push it. Yeah, they push it.
They really do. They really do. And that's for the reason, for me, is the reason why I'm like, you know what? I'm a Christian. I'm just not Catholic. And it's okay. That's okay. Because I do. I still believe in God. And I still believe in Christ. So if I believe in those two things, but I'm not Catholic, I don't understand why this should be a problem or not.
Well, it's. I mean, if you just live according to the Word, you really don't have to follow any type of church, because the relationship you have with God is a personal one. And if you try the best you can to conform to what you're being told, you're being instructed, like your parents used to tell you when you were 6, go pick up your room or go take a bath. Sometimes we listen, sometimes we don't. It's the same. It's the same. The church that I go to, they don't push it; they preach it. They tell you what you need to do. They don't say, they don't force it on you. They just give you the information that you need, and if you follow it, then you're going to get what they're preaching. But like the Catholic Church preaches, you shouldn't do this, and I'm going to crack your knuckles, and you need to confess every week.
I got beat with the yardstick from a nun for no reason. And honest to God, for moving someone's death.
They were the worst. Nuns were the worst.
I got beaten. I got beaten with a yardstick at first grade. And I mean, what does a first grader do to deserve some?
They really believe in that spare the rod, spoil the child thing, and that rod.
My mom went to school in a convent, and she said if you weren't right-handed, they would actually tie your, I think it was your left. If you were left-handed, they kind of forced you to write with your right hand. And they were horrible.
Well, they believed that left-handed writing was like a
something. Something about that.
And some people are cool that can write with both. I can write with both of mine.
I can't. I would have had my knuckles wrapped all the time. I can't write nothing with my left hand.
Yeah, like M's is just this wealth of information today. I think religion is sort of like the game of telephone.
Could be.
Yes. Laura Lee. She used a yardstick on the back of my legs and gave me blisters and welts on the back from doing it.
Why? Why did she hit you?
Because nuns are mean.
They were.
They are mean.
She was the meanest of them all too. In my mind, she was evil.
Just didn't like you.
They think they're married to Christ.
They'll pick somebody, and they if they don't like you, they'll make your life miserable.
See, the funny thing is anybody who had her, and there's only one person that I know of who it does not be like, oh, she was terrible. Everybody else is like, oh my God, if I ever saw, she's not, apparently from what I heard, she's not a nun anymore. Shocker. Yeah, going beating kids. Shocker.
Can you imagine?
No, they beat, and I can remember going home.
I became a nun because I want to be mean to people, especially
I
kids.
was more afraid of this woman than I was my mom.
Oh, really?
I thought if my mom went up there, she was going to beat me more. I really did. But my mom went up and didn't tell me. And threatened her.
I had a nun tell Nicole she got this little job at a thrift store for this Catholic church.
Okay.
And she was really happy about it. So she came home and she told me, I got this interview and blah, blah, blah. She had the interview and they gave her, she went up there to talk to the head nun before they hired her on. And they asked her, do you have any physical, disabilities that we need to know about? Mm-hmm. She said, yeah, I have epilepsy. And this nun said, nope, we can't have you. We cannot have you having some kind of fit out here. And everybody said, she said, we've had that before. And Nicole come home crying and told me the story. And so I called back up there. And I said that because I wanted to be sure this is what
we got this straight. Right.
Right. And that nun told me, she said, no, we hired somebody with epilepsy before and they had a seizure right in front of it. It freaked everybody out and we just can't have it. And what came out of my mouth, I said, I can't believe I'm hearing this from a nun.
And that's how they are. I'm not kidding you. They're not nice people. I'm not saying all of them are not nice people.
She was so
there are
cold.
some very good-hearted nuns out there.
She was so cold. I told her, I said, you sent her home crying.
That's what they do. Oh,
I said, is this what you're being led by the Spirit to do?
They like to make you cry. Absolutely.
So she hung up on me. Yeah, she hung up on me.
Enjoy it.
She hung up on me, so I called her back. I said, no, you need to hear this. You have upset this person that just wanted to come and make money for herself and not, she didn't want to be on Social Security. And she hung up on me again, and I guess they got my number for her application, and they sent the police to the house.
Oh.
And I told this cop what happened. And this cop said, you know what? I'm sorry for even bothering you. He said, just don't call back there again. I said, no, I'm not going to. I got my point across. Mm-hmm. That came from a Catholic church.
There were 2 priests in my high school who are now in prison for doing things they shouldn't be doing with little boys.
With choir boys, yeah, that's common in that.
They give them alcohol and drugs in the rectory and do things. Oh yeah, he got caught. He's out. He's in jail. Whatever happened to Brother Pat, I don't even freaking know. But I mean, I have to be honest when I say, like, here's the Catholic Church who totally discriminates against, I guess, if you were LGBTQ or anything like that in the alphabet, or, if you're gay, or they still frown upon that. They don't ever say that they don't. And legitimately, in high school, every teacher I had for religion was gay. No lie.
Really?
Really. Not
That's
openly,
weird.
but obviously.
Well,
Okay.
according to the church, being gay itself is not the sin. It's the physical act that's the sin. And a sin is a sin is a sin. But if you're preaching the Bible, if you're preaching accurately, that's what you would say if you have somebody that is
Look,
gay or something ask you about it.
I'm not shitting here on the Catholic Church. I'm shitting on what I went through in Catholic school. That's what I get my information from. I'm not necessarily shitting on anybody who's a part of it. I just had a really bad experience. I finally came and said to my mom, I said, look, I'm still a Christian, but I'm just not Catholic. And it had to be like, I had to say this. And my kids both got baptized, and they both have had their communion, but they never had their confirmations. And that was because of the pandemic and everything that panned out. I'm like, you know what? Now she's going to need all this because of the pandemic just to even make it. I'm like, you know what? This is all craziness. Forget this crap. And that's why I'm like, we're done. And my husband was in agreement, and I think the kids were in agreement that they were not Catholic.
Ems used to suffer from seizures. She said she feels sorry for anybody that suffers with seizures.
Yeah,
But she hasn't had one for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of
Amen.
there's a lot of juvenile epilepsy that kids will have seizures and then they just kind of grow out of them. You might
She
have
said
one.
she had one after her first child. I
Yeah,
guess
you might.
she
Yeah,
said
you might. You
brought
might have
on.
one or two more. Nicole hasn't had one for a while. Been a while. Been a long
She
time.
takes something for seizures, though, doesn't
Oh yeah,
she?
she
Hi,
takes.
Lisa.
Yeah, she takes all kinds of medicine. And she smokes a hell of a lot of weed too, and that's supposed to help.
No, we were talking about when were we talking about smoking weed yesterday on your panel?
On
Like
mine?
weed is good for everything.
Oh, yeah.
It really
yeah.
is. I mean, it really helps a lot of people that
Ginger
suffer
Locks is a
medically.
proponent for weed. Let me
But
tell you.
it's so funny because Marissa's like, the stoners have been right the whole time.
That's right.
Time. I'm like, I told
It was
you.
fun.
You know what? When I found out that you did smoke weed, I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it because you just seemed like not the type that would ever like smoke weed or do
That's
anything
what I was
like
cracking
that.
up
I'm like,
at.
So you
wow, she
judged
smokes weed.
me, Carla.
I did judge you because I
Damn
thought
you.
you were just like so innocent.
Well, there's nothing
And she's like,
malicious about
oh
it when
no,
you're suffering.
I hang out my window and I smoke.
No, I'm not. I tell you this all the time. I
was
am
texting
not
with her
innocent.
No, not at all.
Not
I
at
was-
all.
Not at all. She's
I
not
was
innocent.
texting with
You guys-
Ginger Locks when she was stoned out of her mind one time. Just
Oh my
funny.
God, she's funny. She's funny when she's stoned.
It was
Hey, how do
funny.
you know when I
hilarious.
am and when I'm not? How do
You
you
were
not know
telling
that
me.
Because you
Probably
talk like a mile a minute.
How do you
You
know I'm
don't
not
notice
stoned
it?
right now?
You just
You're
like,
not. You probably have a slight
no,
buzz.
no. And you kind of like slur a few words.
All right, I'm going to be honest. I'm stoned right now because I'm sick at the moment and trying to get food to go down. So, yeah, I am stoned, but I'm not crazy
No,
stoned.
but sometimes you're more than others. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell right now. I couldn't tell.
Laura,
No, I'm just
does
trying to
help, but
eat.
it just doesn't give the. She wants the
Yeah.
buzz too. The CBD doesn't have a whole lot of tetrahydrocannabinol in it, and it give you a little bit of a buzz, but not very much. But it'll clear your ailments out. It's got enough in it, like if you have a bad back or your headaches or something like that. It has enough in it to cure that. So when she smokes the CBD, it helps her with her seizures, but she doesn't get the buzz from it.
I'd like to take some for my anxiety.
Can you imagine Carl smoking a big blunt?
Oh, my
I
God.
smoked. My daughter gave me something
You
to smoke.
took a hit.
I took a hit.
You
Yes,
took a hit.
and I had a freaking panic attack. I thought
Did you think you were going to get caught by the cops?
No, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I
Yeah.
just started hyperventilating.
That's
She
because
goes,
your
"It's supposed
your
to
senses
calm you
get
off."
uber heightened.
Yeah, you can hear your,
Yeah.
you're more aware of your body, so you kind
Ugh.
of feel your
I
heartbeat.
was just like, it's almost like I could hear my heart beating in my
Yeah.
ear. And I was like, I
That-
told my daughter, I said, please take me to the hospital. There's something wrong. She
That's
goes,
called a
Mom,
bulge."
it's nothing. It's nothing.
When you feel like that, you're
I'm
supposed to
not
lay down and relax after you eat some
I
after
couldn't,
some
though.
Rice
I was
Krispie
scared I
treats
wouldn't
or
wake
something.
up.
And hopefully you never have to. And see, for me, I used to be on opioids because of everything that my doctors would put me on in pain management. I never abused them, but I wanted
Try
to
a
get
second
off
thought.
them. I definitely wanted off them. So when I got off them, and everyone said, "Try this. This might work," and it's worked for me. That's why I do it. I never did it when I was not a smoker at all when I was in my 20s or even in my 30s or even in my teens. I didn't
Right.
smoke anything until I was like a junior in college. Not even high school, college.
Yeah, Nicole didn't
just-
start smoking for. Yeah, she was how old? Like 30.
It's just it's better that I switched. It's better that I switched, and I know that for a fact. And all my doctors are like, "Woo!" Because you know why? That takes the fear of them actually prescribing something for me and causing something to happen because doctors get in trouble now.
They're
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're so freaked out about giving anybody pills anymore.
Right.
Because there's so
So
many
when you
drug
tell
addicts.
them, when you say, "Hey, I switched to medical marijuana," they're thrilled.
Lou says, "Come to
thrilled.
my campground and I'll get
Because
you
of the
high
side
as
effect.
F."
Yeah, Carla. If you come to Dayton, I'll have Nicole smoke a big bong with you. And we'll send you
Oh
back.
yeah, and then you'll see me have a heart attack.
You won't. You probably start
God,
giggling. A lot of times, the first time
she-
people smoke, they get paranoid.
She needs it in small doses. A bong is not for her.
Yeah, I only had like a puff off my daughters, and I just about have a heart attack. So, I mean,
Now-
it did kind of. The thing is, the smoking part killed me. I was just choking.
Well, you know what?
myself.
I will say because if you do a water pipe, it is better because it's a little bit smoother. It doesn't choke you as bad as if you were to smoke a joint. Kind of
the
same
paper.
with a vape, and then with an edible, it's just completely different.
The funny thing that happened at my daughter's house was I was cleaning up and I was emptying the ashtray, and she goes,
Oh,
"Did
you told me
dump-
about this.
Did you dump the ashtray?" And I said, "Yeah." That's
wants
what you
to roach
usually
it.
do with dirty ashtrays. She goes, "All my little roaches
roaches.
were in there." And I'm like,
They're called roaches.
"What's a roach? A roach to me is a freaking bug that crawls on the floor." She goes, "No, Mom, we put it all together and roll another cigarette, another joint." I'm like, "Oh, well, it's
Yeah.
in the garbage bag with wet tea bags and everything."
I'd have been
on
like,
top."
"Give me 60
She was
bucks
not
now,
a
Mom."
happy camper.
Did she? I bet she dug them out, didn't she? Did she go
Yeah.
get them? Because the roach joints are like the
She
best.
tried. She tried.
Good
I think
for
she
her.
did, and she dried it off on the counter.
Yeah, because the
I
roach
never
joints are
I
the best.
never dumped ashtrays again. I actually looked to see what was in the ashtrays. How was I supposed to know that there was freaking roaches in there? Try gummies.
Well,
I
they
would like
look
to
like
try
roaches.
the chocolate.
After
The
they've
chocolate.
been burnt for a minute, they look like roaches. That's
We
why they
we
call
are
them-
not allowed here in New Jersey to have it in chocolate form yet at dispensaries or in like baked good forms. They can only have it in gummies or lozenges, like a Jolly Rancher.
Wow.
Yeah, I had one of those lemon sour lozenges one time that was full of weed. I was like, man, this doesn't do anything. And then about 45 minutes later,
Yep.
it just smacked.
Bang! You're like, damn.
I was
what
like,
the
well,
freak?
I was like, check please.
We were talking about. I was somewhere and someone was talking about ketamine, and
Of what?
ketamine, which is a drug which is
Oh, okay.
in large doses known as a horse tranquilizer.
Oh,
Whoa.
In large doses. Now, when I was transferred to this place called Jefferson Hospital around here, they had put me, I'd never been on ketamine ever. They're like, we find this to be a little bit better than whatever it was I was taking in the other hospital. They said, but it may cause you to have, what did they say? What is it when you can see things that aren't there?
hallucination.
Hallucinations. Yes. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to hallucinate. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching Saturday Night Live, and Ariana Grande was on, and she was also like host and singer. I did not see the same show that I saw when I watched it not on ketamine. When you got like these crystal, colorful rainbows coming at you, and I'm not kidding. Like it was all like what people like write about and stuff. Everything was like, and I'm like, okay, this is not real. And I was like, get me off this stuff. I started
I'm
screaming
freaking out, man.
because I knew. I'm like, this isn't real. This isn't real at all. And my head told me it wasn't real, but then it made me completely freak out. It did. And it probably, if I just went with the flow with it, it probably would have been better. I never hallucinated before. That was my first hallucination. I was like, oh my God. And they're like, oh, we got to turn it down. I'm like, you think? You think? So when they turned it down, it was a little bit better. But, oh my God.
I went through this mushrooms and acid phase when I was in my 20s. You talk about hallucination. You eat a mushroom. If you eat a fresh mushroom, you literally will be in a psychedelic buzz for about 8 hours.
Wow, really?
And you want it to go away. You'll go to sleep on mushrooms and wake up and still be high.
Oh my God.
And and that was cool for a while, but then I was like, okay, this is just too much of the mushrooms. And the acid makes you just want to drink everything in sight.
I've never done mushrooms. At least not mushrooms that,
Do they taste like mushrooms?
Yes, they do.
Do they really?
Yes.
What if you cook them?
I think if you cook them, don't you damage it?
I wouldn't know.
I would not.
The only time I've ever had them is like I knew somebody that was growing, and he would use 2-liter bottles and a certain kind of airflow, and he would grow them up in like a pipe that's putting out a certain kind of carbon monoxide or whatever. But whenever I would get them, we'd pull them fresh from where they were growing. You'd pop them open, they turn purple. I mean, that's some people will get them and grow them and let them dry out and sprinkle them on stuff. But I was getting them fresh. I mean,
I've heard about people drying them out. Yeah, I have.
Yeah. You can do that, but I think you get a better buzz.
Lorelai says, I can't believe mushrooms have been going legal.
I've never done mushrooms ever. Never ever.
You know you got a real one if you pop it open and like if you cut yourself, your blood is red and it turns blue. If you pop these things open, they turn purple. The real ones. And they look like mushrooms.
I wonder where they get them from.
You could you have to have a certain kind of seed. Peyote seeds or something like that. I don't know how he was doing that. But there's a ton of money involved.
Who the first person was that realized that mushroom was like could get you high or whatever.
I would assume it had something to do with cowboys and cow patties.
I bet you it was the Native Americans because they have all those, fancy.
They used to call them cow patties, like they would grow up out of cow feces and horse feces.
Ew, yeah.
And they probably thought, wow, here's some mushrooms. They boil them up or whatever, and then they're like higher than hell. Like, man, I'm gonna get some more of those. That was good.
But see, that's the reason why I will not go to the hospital. And the reason why I will not go to the hospital is because, I don't have my pain medication. So if I don't have my pain medication, what am I supposed to do? And I always tell them that. And they're assholes about it. And I'm just like, you know what? What's the point?
Have they always been like this about your medication? Or
always.
Just like in the last...
They think everybody's a drug addict on one hand, and on the other hand, they're trying to keep her from getting addicted. They think
Yeah.
they're helping her, and they're not.
Considering like that, I don't want to be like when I
Yeah,
come
and see,
home, I have no opioids. So they take me off my opioids before I leave. And I'm all about that. Like,
And they wonder
and
why you're not feeling good 2 days later.
oh, and I know the feeling of when, my body became slightly dependent on it, and your body does go through some kind of toxicness, and it's hard to sleep. It's hard to do anything. But, unfortunately, with everything that I've had in my life and everything that I go through, sometimes there's just no other alternative.
I got addicted to Loracets, and I don't think they have those anymore on the market.
I've never heard of that. No.
Yeah, Loracets is like a morphine-ish type of thing, but they would give it to you if you were having kidney problems or internal organ problems or sometimes back pain. But you could chop those things up and snort them. And there for a while, up in Portsmouth, Ohio, they were going for like 70, like Oxys. They were going for like $75 a pop. And man, I went through it with those things. That is, they make you feel completely numb, but totally alert. Totally
hey,
alert.
Gemma.
Hi, Gemma.
There's Gemma.
So sweet. Okay,
Oh,
guys, I think I'm going to call it.
That's what I was going to call it too, because Nicole's up, and I'm going to spend a little time with her today.
You're going to make her breakfast in bed, Brian.
She don't eat.
I don't eat breakfast.
She doesn't eat. She doesn't. Eat. I make things for her all the time. She's just not an eater. I don't know how she's gained any
What's
weight.
her favorite thing that you make for her that she likes?
I don't know because I've made her so much stuff. What can you think of anything that I make that you like?
What'd
I
she
make so
say?
much stuff. She's just not a big eater. She just
I
isn't.
don't eat much.
She likes to munch.
Me, I can't eat Nicole either. I
Yeah.
can't eat.
Nicole likes to
Thank
munch
you,
on.
Mr. Positive. I
She'll
enjoy that.
she'll munch on watermelon chunks. I know to get her those.
I love watermelon.
I know she likes
I
the
do.
Stouffer's macaroni and cheese. She'll eat that, and then she likes certain kind of deli meat turkey. And she'll get all this stuff around her, and she'll be picking at turkey and watermelon, and she likes her ice cream. But she'll have this variety of stuff sitting out, and she'll just pick at it and put it all back. But she eats the same stuff over. She don't eat much at all. It's kind of annoying.
Thank you for coming in, everybody. I enjoyed having you all here. Thank you for
Bye.
coming up on panel.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Bye,
I was
Carla.
not
Good
planning
live.
on coming up today because I wasn't feeling so good, but here
You
I
sound
am.
Well,
good though.
sometimes if you talk, just it gets your mind off things for a little bit.
And you know what? You're right. And it did. It got my mind off a lot of things.
Even
That's
if
right.
it's just for a little while.
She's gonna
Yes.
go smoke a bowl now.
No, I'm not.
But,
All right,
I'm
bye.
good. All
okay,
right.
bye, Brian.
Bye,
Love
everyone.
You. Love you. Thank
Bye,
you guys
sweetie.
for coming in. Bye. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate seeing you guys every day. Sorry I had that problem with the echo and all that before. I don't know what the heck that was all about. But Lorelei, thanks. It was nice seeing you too. But you guys have a great day. What is it today? Thursday? I was trying to think. I thought it was Friday, but it's not Thursday. Have a happy Veterans Day, everybody. Bye.